Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today? I am Queen Lillie, and we are talking about life under Trump, Part 59. Yes, life under Donald Trump, Part 59. And we're also going to discuss Elon Musk, which y'all know he's on the list because right now he's comforting Donny Boy while he's going through it since the plane crash, which is under his watch, which is his fault. So, yes, we covering life under Trump, Part 59. Thank you for coming to my live. I am Queen Lillie. Hit that like button as you come in. You are valued. You are welcome. You all are kings and queens, and I welcome you all. If you'd like to donate to my channel, simply send me a super chat or a super sticker. It would be highly appreciated. Also, in my description, I have my Venmo and my PayPal. So if you want to support me in that way, you can as well. It's totally up to you. So today we will be discussing the Orange Devil, Donald J. Trump. And let's send up prayers for all the people that was involved in the crash, the helicopter and our airline crash. Let's send up prayers for them. Hey, Queen Till, how you doing, beautiful? Let's all send up prayers for them. I watched a video on Instagram showing all the people that were affected, that were in the crash, that did not survive. I don't think there was any survivors. And the thing is, the person driving that is assumed to have caused the crash, he was not DEI, Donald Trump, the Orange Devil. He was not DEI at all. But yes, we definitely got to send up prayers to them. So let's have a moment of quietness and then we'll get started. Now we're going to start the show. Also, the Orange Man, he is trying, what caused all of this? The Orange Man dismantled the FAA. Yes, him and Elon caused this problem to occur because they went in doing all this firing and forcing people to resign from their positions. We have this situation to happen because of their negligence. That's what caused it. Donald Trump has disbanded the FAA. He's blaming President Joe Biden, which we discussed that yesterday. How can it be President Joe Biden's fault? He's not in the Oval Office. It cannot possibly be the great Joe Biden's fault. How? He's not in the Oval Office. Donald J. Trump, you're in the office. The Orange Man, the Orange Devil, you're in the office. Also, he has no grief for the families. He's so focused on putting the blame on the Dems, President Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Obama. Boy, leave the great handsome President Obama alone. He has nothing to do with this. You sit beside him at the at President Jimmy Carter's memorial and pretend you like him. You envy President Obama. You wish you were the great handsome President Obama. That man is so fit. He makes you look stupid, Donnie. You sitting beside him and you a blubber and you just look so foolish sitting beside President Obama. You can't compete and you know this. And when you can't compete, you result to blaming others. You play the blame game. You accept no accountability. You never have, even when you were presented in the Oval Office in 2016 election, you never took accountability for even the missing children that you caused on your watch, but you continue to blame others. There's no accountability to you, Orange Devil. If y'all don't start holding this man accountable, the worse the demon gets. He feeds off of his people loving what he does, which makes no sense at all. I'm going to move this down some, y'all. One moment. Okay. It makes no sense at all. The Orange Devil. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about the crash that has happened. Donald Trump blaming everybody except himself. No accountability. Don't even have grief for the victims' families. None. Zero in July. Grief for them. He won't even go to the site what happened. And we're going to talk about Elon Musk in between here and there. Yes, we will. We're going to talk about Elon Musk. Donald Trump feeling sad. He need Elon there for him because he's being blamed for the crash. Oh, well, cry, 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 baby, cry. That's who done he is. He has temper tantrums and he cries about everything. Be presidential for once, Donald Trump. Can you? Will you? Please. Come on. Be. Just be. Y'all, my hair is all in my face. I'm sorry. How I combed it, I should have combed a different way because it is all in my poor little face. Lord, drive me up the wall. Okay, we're going to get this party started. I'm going to show y'all a video from Midas Touch Network. Ben, he was interviewing someone and they stated how they felt about Trump and Elon. Elon, he spent the night with Trump at the White House due to Donald Trump claim he's so sad over what has happened. No, you're mad it happened on your watch. It's your negligence that caused the crash, Donald J. Trump. He pointing the finger everywhere except to himself and take accountability. He was never taught that. Mary Trump didn't teach him that. She doesn't know that. She was raised the same way, and his father too. The blame game.
One of the things we've been reporting here is that Elon Musk had forced out the former head of the FAA last week, and that predated, of course, the horrific plane crash over Washington, D.C. We're getting more disturbing news right now.
He sure did, Tia.
Major department, the same thing appears to be happening over and over again. The Washington Post is reporting the highest-ranking Treasury official is expected to depart soon after a clash with Elon Musk allies over Elon's demands for access to sensitive internal government payment system information. Sources say Musk allies wanted access to the system responsible for dispersing trillions of dollars in federal payments annually as part of Doge. And folks, we're talking about things like Social Security payments, medical payments, loans from the government. All of that data is what Elon Musk, a oligarch, wanted to get his hands on. Purportedly, he said, for Doge. Treasury career staff saw this as unusual and problematic. David Librick, who's the highest-ranking Treasury official, viewed internally this as, he's viewed as a non-political civil servant, someone who viewed this as, improper, stood his ground. Musk forced him out. Now we're also learning that Donald Trump has given Elon Musk a bedroom in the White House, the Lincoln bedroom at the White House. Here to make sense of all of this, we've got Democratic Congress member Robert Garcia. The Broligarchs not just sitting front row at inauguration, they're front row in our government, and they have their hands on our private data, on all of our information, which they could also use for their businesses. What's going on, Congressman?
Well, thanks for having me. I mean, like you and like all of those that love our country, we should be so concerned about what is happening and about Elon Musk. I mean, Elon Musk at this point is essentially a co-president with Donald Trump. Donald Trump has given the keys away to all of our information, all of our federal resources to Elon Musk and his billionaire friends. This is a government for and by the billionaires. And we have to be very clear at this moment that we've got to be loud and fight back every single chance that we get, because Elon Musk is in this to essentially reimagine government in his image, where the working poor and the working class get nothing, and all of our hard-earned work goes straight to his pockets, straight to his companies and his billionaire friends. And Donald Trump is allowing this to happen. And what you just shared should be incredibly disturbing to everyone, that Elon Musk is going to get access to personal information. We've got to sound the alarm here.
The government freeze with that memo from the Office of Management and Budget, that went out causing mass chaos across the country. Then there was purportedly a rescission on the freeze, but then Trump's press secretary said, no, we were just rescinding the memo, not the freeze. Federal judges across the country are saying, we really just don't know what is happening. Are things frozen? Are things not frozen? Look, you used to be a mayor who has an executive position, dealing with people on a day-to-day basis.
What I take from this, you all, is that Elon back at the White House, staying in the Lincoln home, the room, and he's back there talking with Trump. That makes it easy for them to do their calls, conference calls with who? Daddy Putin. Elon wants the information to the Treasury because that helps Putin to come on over and take our country. That's what's going on. Because Elon has no reason to be trying to take over the Treasury Department. No reason to. And he calls the man over it to resign, just like they did with the FAA. And that's why we had the plane crash and the helicopter crash, because they forced the people up out of there. Then they want to blame DEI. Come on now, do better, Trump. But I don't expect much from you. You're the bottom of the barrel. I could never start flagging your channel. I don't fear you, MAGA, and I don't fear Trump. Nor Elon Musk. Just because they got money does not mean they have all the power. Donald Trump worked for us, the people, the United States of America. He works for us. Start acting like it. We do not work for Donald J. Trump. He is the bottom of the barrel. We stand on top of the barrel. We control the barrel. We are the people. We are the United States of America. You guys hired the orange devil. He does not run this country. He works for the American people. Start using your power. Your mouth is your power. Or you're going to end up out of your homes without any food. Fight back. Elon and Trump trying to forcefully get rid of DEI by any means necessary. And I mean it, by any means necessary. There's nothing they won't do for control. And there's nothing they won't do to get to that dictatorship fast and quick in a hurry. And to give Putin exactly what he wants. And Putin wants America served to him on a silver platter by the orange devil and Elon Musk. One moment, please.
So I know everybody's heard about the American Airlines Flight 5342 crash last night, but I wanted to add another wrinkle to this story because I was doing some research in just the aftermath, trying to understand, as someone who knows nothing about aviation, how this happens in 2025. Learned that the last commercial flight to crash in the US was back in 2009. Obviously, I've learned in the aftermath from a lot of creators here that Donald Trump helped gut the FAA in the immediacy after his inauguration. And on January 20th, Elon himself forced the resignation of the head of the FAA. And a lot of people are pointing to that as part of that, which I agree. Having less aviation officials seems like a bad idea for airline safety. And then Donald Trump gave his crazy conference this morning, right? Where he blamed DEI and even signed an order that says it was DEI and Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg that caused this plane to go down. And then I discovered this tweet from Elon. Look at the date. Plane crash. That's what it'll take for them to end DEI policies.
There's nothing they would do, nothing that they would not do to take over this country. Apartheid is in Elon's brain. Donald Trump is all about control, and he wants to be a king to the American people. Well, we did not hire a king. We hired an orange devil. I didn't hire him. A vast majority of America did not hire him. They would do anything by any means necessary. One moment, please. While all this was going on, what was Donny Boy doing? What was Donald Trump doing? He was out there playing golf instead of being presidential. He knew what was going to happen, in my opinion. Any means necessary. Class versus ASS. And I'm going to read it to you. Class is President Joe Biden. ASS is Donald Trump. President Joe Biden says, Jill and I are praying for the families of the victims who tragically lost their lives in the plane and helicopter crash near DCA. We are immensely grateful to the brave first responders and emergency personnel on the scene. That is classy. But what does Donald Trump do? What does he do? He's never classy. Donald Trump, he goes and blames President Joe Biden and DEI. But the person that was driving DEI, the person that was driving was not DEI, Donald Trump, at all. Wishful thinking and wishful trying to plot on the people, black and brown. But DEI is more than just black and brown, you nincompoop. Okay, we're going to see what Buttigieg says. Hold on. He says, despicable. As families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We put safety first, drove down closed calls, grew air traffic control, and had zero commercial airline crash faculties out of millions of flights on our watch. President Orange Devil now oversees the military in the FAA. One of his first acts was to fire and suspend some of the key personnel who helped our skies stay safe. Time for the great Orange Devil to show actually leadership and explain what he will do to prevent this from happening again. He doesn't care. Any means necessary. Any means necessary to get to the goal of him and Elon Musk, what they want to do. Any means necessary. And this is another comment from someone. Elon Musk, who has not been elected or officially appointed to any office, successfully pushed the FAA administrator to resign 9 days ago. Elon Musk and Donald Trump is to blame for the situation. That's who to blame. Not Pete nor President Joe Biden. They are not to blame at all. Tom Bonnier says, we currently do not have an FAA administrator because the previous one was forced out by the billionaire who got Trump elected and was given unchecked authority in return. He was forced out because he tried to find the billionaire's space company for operating unsafely. By any means necessary, Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Any means necessary. No love for the American people at all. Fact, the president of the United States has a worse criminal record than 99% of the people he is deporting. Must I read that again? Fact. The orange man, the orange devil, the president of the United States has the worst criminal record than 99% of the people he is deporting. But he calls them criminals and rapists, But he is all the things that he called those people. What a shame and a scandal. A shame and a scandal. The American people are so embarrassed. We are the laughing stock right now. All the other big leaders and presidents, and they all laughing at America because of the orange devil. One moment, please. My hair in my face. I should have never switched my hair over this way because it is all in my face. I can't take it. Can't take it anymore. Just can't take it. Sorry, guys. Excuse the hair today, honey. I should have never changed it up. But anyway, we're going to get on to the orange devil, what he got going on. One moment.
Multiple reports from Phoenix, Arizona indicate that members of tribal nations are being harassed by immigration officers, and at least one member of the Navajo Nation was detained and released by ICE. This is a devastating result of racial profiling and a stark reminder of settler colonial violence.
Hit that like button.
To my Indigenous brothers and sisters out there, please stay safe and take care. Multiple reports from Phoenix, Arizona.
The person that should be deported, that is illegal immigrant here, migrant, is Elon Musk. And the hotline for turning over migrants has been blowed up. People making calls about Elon Musk more than anybody else. And they're angry, so they stopped taking calls because everybody's calling, reporting Elon Musk. Yes, they report Elon Musk.
DOJ argued that Native Americans don't have birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment, which they do. Now, that being said, if you are a Native American, you do need to be carrying some sort of tribal ID or U.S. ID on you. Apparently, several Native Americans have been detained for multiple hours without their cell phones or a way for them to contact their families or their tribes. Now, the tribe that's been most impacted by this is the Navajo Nation, and apparently this has sparked a lot of fear, especially among tribal members who live in urban areas and might struggle with getting them the proper documentation. Now, several of these Native Americans did provide documentation of either a state ID or something called a CIB, which is a certificate of Indian blood. But apparently ICE is not recognizing these documents as valid proof of citizenship. Native Americans, people who were here long before us, people who belong here more than any of us, are being detained and questioned about being deported, and they're not accepting tribal proof, ID, whatever, as valid. Look, I'm just going to call this right now. Again, like I said in an earlier video, the criminals, the predators, all of those people, get them the heck out of here. In fact, take American ones with you. Get them out of here too. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits coming from this when it comes to American citizens and Native Americans. Now, that being said, if you are Native American, please make sure that you are carrying some form of ID that will prevent you from having to be detained for X number of hours. Anyways, to stay up to date, make sure to hit that follow button and drop your thoughts about all this in the comments. So the DOJ argued that
Blanco at it again. Blanco at it again. The Native Americans were here before the Europeans. This is their land. But you insist on trying to remove people that were here before you. Because all you do is take and take and take, like your ancestors.
we need you, Lord.
Hold on. I'm going to show y'all the people that were in the crash due to Donald Trump's negligence. These are the people that were in the crash due to Donald Trump and Elon Musk negligence. Young children at that. People's loved ones, and Donald Trump has no grief for them. None. This is just some of the people. Families are hurting, and Donald Trump has no grief, nor does Elon Musk. All they think about is fattening their pockets. They don't care about the American people. Look at these families gone. Even a law professor for Howard University, gone. She would have started her being a professor at Howard University in the fall. Gone. The skate team, gone. And Donald Trump has no grief, nor does Elon Musk have any grief for these families, y'all. None. Their loved ones are hurting. And he wants to babble off and release words from his mouth that doesn't make any sense and blaming everyone but himself and Elon Musk. This would not happen if they would have kept the administrator for the FAA. They caused this on their watch. And who is Elon Musk to try to get rid of anyone? MAGA, did you vote Elon Musk into the White House? Answer that. This is the young lady that was going to be a professor at Howard University. Howard University is where Queen Kamalaharris graduated from before she went to law school. Howard University. I'm going to read what you need to know about this young lady. Civil rights attorney, former Miss Kansas contestant. Michelle Obama intern, Kiel Duggins, identified as one of the 60 passengers in the American Airlines plane crash, was on her way to becoming a professor at Howard University in the fall. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk, her blood is on your hands. Her ancestors gonna hunt you at night. And Donald Trump, the curse is for you, you're gonna get fatter and fatter and uglier. And 2025 is gonna be you and Elon's worst year. I've been told y'all to say Donald Trump will not have a good 2025. I said this from day one when he was inaugurated. I told y'all his 2025 would be the worst year for Elon Musk and Donald Trump. These passengers' blood is on Elon Musk and Donald Trump's hands because they dismantled the FAA out of their greed to fatten their pockets. The blood is on their hands. This beautiful woman is gone because of you, Dunny. A law professor, never a DEI, highly educated, a pageant queen. Dunny, wasn't you over pageants? Wasn't you over pageants, Dunny? Over all those young girls that you would go peep at when you didn't suppose to be? Sick. You and Elon both are just sick. Elon in love with a robot, and you in love with a woman, Dunny, that doesn't love you and won't even allow you to touch her. One moment.
Undocumented immigrants were going to be caught in ICE raids and detained? Well, I'm sorry, you're wrong. This past Monday, a mother, grandmother, and toddler, Puerto Ricans, by the way, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, were detained by ICE for speaking Spanish in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They were denied any chance to speak to
Hit the like button,
until they got
please.
to the detention center. So they were not allowed to tell them, hey, we're American citizens from Puerto Rico. We have the right to be here and also to speak Spanish without getting detained. Only after the mother produced documentation, including birth certificates, which how many of us travel with birth certificates? Is that the expectation now? That's when the agents apologized. Oh, but they did not apologize enough to return these people home. No. They had to call and pay for their own ride back from the facility. So that is where we are right now. So I just want us all to be on the same page about what is happening with ICE raids and these detentions. You thought that only undocumented immigrants were going to be caught in ICE raids and detained? Well, I'm sorry, you're wrong. This past Monday, a grandmother.
They have went this far to make anybody a migrant. even U.S. citizens, from want to remove the Native Americans to now harassing anybody that speaks Spanish. So if I speak Spanish, I'm going to be out of here too? Really? So if I speak Spanish, I'm going to be out of here too? Really? This is a shame and a scandal. The only people need to be out of here is Elon Musk, the musty one. I'm going to read some of y'all comments. Wise Lolly says, the like button is not on your screen. Yes, it is. Hit the like button and be quiet, silly monster. Tricks are for kids, you silly rabbit. This is not Barack Obama. Someone says their name is Barack Obama. You should be sued for that. And this person says you guys are brainwashed. If we're brainwashed, then go wash the orange off of Donald Trump's face. Pamela's Harris, so what? I don't know what she's talking about. God bless you, woman. Makes sense if you're going to send something in the comment. Sir, so there's so much ignorance here. Your mama and your daddy ignorant, and you ignorant because you coming up here in my chat to watch me and to listen to me. So that shows you're the ignorant one. Why would you go listen to someone that you don't enjoy? Be gone. Please. Go. Get away. Shoot fly.
This salute trutherism is outrageous. This is the most.
Do it right now on
biggest,
TV.
This is the biggest
So why
conspiracy.
do it right now on TV? If you think
MAGA with his lies.
it's a normal way to greet people, do it right now on TV. Why won't you?
I want to.
This salute trutherism is outrageous. This is the most.
Do it right now on TV.
This is the biggest
So why do
conspiracy.
it right now on
Hold
TV?
on
If you think it's normal, if you think this is a normal way to greet people, do it right now on TV. Why won't you?
I want to.
Yeah. Do it right now on television. If you don't have a problem with what Elon did, do it right now. Make yourself even famous. Come on, do it right now. Do that salute right now if there's nothing wrong with it. He didn't do it because he knows it's disgusting. He knows.
An agency like ICE would be prepared for anything, except apparently for the internet trolling them into oblivion. In what can only be described as the most legendary prank of the year, ICE's official tip line, meant for reporting undocumented immigrants, was completely shut down after being overwhelmed with calls about one man, Elon Musk. Yes, you heard that right. Elon Musk.
Immigrants in my country that I would really appreciate you removing. Could you help me with this?
Okay, yes. Where are you located?
I'm City.
Okay. All right. And you have a name?
Yes, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly because he's African. He's very African. I believe it's Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Sorry, Elon Musk. Maybe, I don't know how they say it. But anyway, last time I seen him, he was bragging about some crimes he committed and how he used the profits to buy a tiny home in Boca Chica, Texas. So if you could send somebody over there to get him out of there, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay.
Instead of snitching on their neighbors, thousands of social media users flooded the hotline with reports about the billionaire.
And I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Deport Elon Musty. And impeach Donny Boy. And deport Elon Musty and impeach Donald Trump. Impeach Donald Trump.
So this is a tough one to make. There were a lot of children on board that plane.
Hit the like button.
Skaters, 3 boys and 2 girls under the age of 12. And then it just came out that Loudoun County schools in Virginia had a lot of students on that plane as well. I'm not sure what their ages were. I mean, those are babies, y'all. Just babies. We've also learned that there were several union workers on that plane. 2 members of the Communication Workers of America, the CWA, 4 members of Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and Steam Fitters Local 602 were also on board. We've also learned that the Black Hawk apparently was flying about 100 feet above its max altitude for that flight path. Now, lastly, a piece of information that you guys might find kind of interesting is that this is not the first time this has happened. Apparently, this same skater club in 1961 were all killed in a plane crash. Now, I'm going to keep following this throughout the day and updating you guys. So if you want to follow, you can. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Every time a new update comes out, it's more and more devastating than the last. So this is a tough one to make.
It is. It's very devastating. Those people are innocent. But what I learned about greedy people, any means necessary. Whatever they want, any means necessary. They don't care who they hurt, what families are destroyed, whether they got to separate children from their parents, they're going to do it.
The elephant in the room through all of this is y'all would prefer to be destroyed by a white man than actually be saved by a Black woman. And that's why we're where we are right now. The elephant in the room through all of this is y'all would prefer to be destroyed by a white man than actually be saved by a Black woman. And that's why we're where we are right now.
She's speaking nothing but facts. We would not be in this situation if Queen Kamala Harris was in office. Oh, brilliant, get rid of her. MAGA in the YT race. Not all, because some of them are not racist, but a vast majority are. You couldn't fathom the idea of a Black woman, Black and Indian, would be running that White House, as brilliant as she is and as highly educated on levels that Donald Trump would never be educated, would be running that White House. But by any means necessary, like Donnie Boy said, Elon Musk and his genius with the voting computers, rigged the election. Words that came from Donald America doing. They try
on minorities and women. So let's not mince words. The president's press conference was despicable, and everything he said was to avoid his own personal responsibility for this tragedy. And make no mistake, Donald Trump is personally responsible for this tragedy. One of the first things he did as president was to fire the head of the TSA, fire the entire Aviation Security Advisory Committee, who are the people responsible for examining safety issues at airlines and airports, to freeze the hiring of air traffic controllers, a group of essential workers already stretched to their limits, and to fire nearly 100 top FAA security officers. The head of the Federal Aviation Administration himself, a man who was unanimously confirmed by the Senate in 2023 for his skill and competence, was forced to retire one year into his 5-year term after facing. And Donald Trump took all of these steps while simultaneously hiring a completely inappropriate and unqualified Fox News host to lead the military and an MTV star to be Secretary of Transportation. Now we have had an unnecessary, tragic mid-air collision that includes the aviation industry and the military. So those deaths are on their hands. We should be having a thorough and transparent investigation on what happened and what went wrong, but we are never going to get that. And mitigate and respond to emergencies and tragedies. Lest we forget, Donald Trump deregulated the air safety industry during his last administration, putting oversight into the hands of the airlines so they could make more profit. Since then, doors have flown off, wheels have fallen off, engines have caught fire, and there have been mid-air near misses across the station, which is why for 4 years, Secretary Buttigieg fought to hire more air traffic controllers and improve working conditions. But under the Trump administration, all of that work is in hard reverse. There is a value to competent federal agencies and workers. They keep us safe and they keep us healthy. The Trump administration has already told our health and food agencies to stop communicating with the public about airborne illnesses, about disease risks, about food and drug recalls. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to die because of this as well. But the administration's complete lack of interest in our lives is so clearly represented by this horrible. This is what happens when you put incompetent people in charge of huge government organizations or mass fire experts who dare to challenge you. People die, and not just people you don't like. You. Do you feel safe getting on a plane right now? Now that you know that Trump has gutted aviation safety, that there is no head of the TSA or the FAA, and air traffic controllers are overworked and understaffed, and we no longer have an aviation safety committee. And even if and when they rehire those people, their first job requirement will not be competence, it will be loyalty. And how does that help you? Elon Musk feels special enough. Lives at risk every single day. Now, no life is worth more than another, but that Army helicopter collided with a plane filled with elite young figure skaters, their parents, and their coaches. People who devoted their life to excellence. Children whose biggest dream was probably to represent their country, and their country failed them. Competence is not woke. Logic is not woke. Safety is not woke. Those are essential, apolitical, necessary qualifications for these jobs. Donald Trump needs to get his priorities straight. His leadership created the perfect storm for this horrific accident to happen. And trust me when I say if we don't do something about it now, it's going to happen again and again and again. We are 10 days into this new leadership, and they're showing us they are incapable of safeguarding the American people the way we have become accustomed. Holding them accountable is mandatory to preserving our safety. To be clear, the Democrats issued a safety warning for aviation last week. The Republicans ignored it, allowed these firings to happen while pushing through the Pete Hegseth nomination as the head of the military, knowing full well he wasn't a. I know politics shouldn't matter here, but they do. And this is outrageous. And if we don't do something about it, then we are all in danger.
She's powerful. She spoke nothing but the truth. She is so powerful, and what she spoke is nothing but the truth. We are in danger. I've been telling y'all this. We are in danger. Maybe coming from danger. Getting on those to be. We government that's running in the White House that make us feel safe. The children are gone because of Donald Trump. Those young ice skaters are gone because of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We are not safe in America. We didn't come this far for this to happen. Nor did my ancestors die for this to happen. Nor should that young professor, law professor, that would be in the fall this year, being a professor at Howard University. She didn't come this far for this to happen. But greed in the White House do not care. Elon Musk does not care. Donald J. Trump does not care. Melania Trump does not care. Donald Trump Jr. does not care. Did you not see how they were when the bishop was encouraging him to put out kindness to those that are different from him? Did you not see that family? They was dry and had no care on their faces. Their only concern is their pockets, their purse, their bank accounts. Trump. Everyone in that crash, their blood is on Donald Trump and Elon Musk's hands. They caused this.
You right now, they can kill me for saying it, but under no circumstance is a military helicopter, especially a fucking Black Hawk, gonna accidentally crash into a commercial plane. Like, there's no way. And get this, the call sign on the helicopter was PAT 25. That means priority air transport. So what's on that helicopter, you know? Obviously, something's not adding up here. I'm telling you right now, they can kill me for saying it, But under
this person willing to put their self out there, somebody's in the military. My daughter's a military vet as well. This person is putting their self out there knowing it could bring danger to them, stating something is not right. And I'm going to tell you something that has been really bothering my soul and buttering my biscuits and my buns right now. There are so many illegal Russians in this country. Illegal Russians, migrant Russians, but they're white. So Donald Trump is not attacking them. But he goes after black and brown people with a force that has never worse than his evil ancestors. The orange devil, why haven't you attacked these illegal Russians that's coming into the country? They are migrants that should not be here either, nor should Elon Musk.
Really terrible news update this morning. The fire chief for Washington, D.C. is now saying that they do not believe that there are any survivors in the plane crash from last night. D.C. Fire and EMS have pulled out bodies from the aircraft and one body from the helicopter. They do not believe that there are any survivors at all. Now, last night there was a rumor circulating that there could have been 4 survivors, but that's not true. He said this morning that we are now at the point of no longer being a rescue operation, but rather a recovery operation. DC Fire and local authorities are working around the clock to try to see if there's any hope of a possible survivor, but it doesn't look like that. And I'm sure throughout the day we will get more information, and the death toll from this terrible, horrific crash will only continue to rise. Many flights into DC have actually been canceled today, and the airport won't resume operations until at least 11 a.m. Eastern time today. I will continue to provide you updates throughout the day, so stay tuned for more, and just please say a prayer for all those impacted. We have a really terrible news update this morning.
Be sure to subscribe to Midas Touch Network. Great for researching. Everything that I have showed y'all is great for researching and fair use. And it's very educational. Very.
It was DEI, right? DEI was the reason behind the tragic plane crash last night. That's what our commander-in-chief said. His commander-in-chief said last night. This is Ryan O'Hara. He was the pilot of the Black Hawk helicopter that crashed into the plane. So what I want to understand is, who is he talking about in this DEI blame game? Because we have one of 3 parties. We have the pilots of the airplane who are locked in on their landing. They're out. They're not at fault. They're not doing anything wrong. We have the air traffic controllers who communicated numerous times with O'Hara and told him, do you have visuals on this plane? Because they told him that plane's approaching. So then that leaves the third party, which unfortunately is Ryan O'Hara, who lost his life tragically. He apparently, from what I'm hearing from other pilots, is he apparently had visuals on the wrong plane, which is why he ended up crashing into the plane that was right in front of him. This is a tragedy. Let me be very clear. I'm not blaming him or anyone else, and neither should the President of the United States. What he should have done is offer condolences, say he's going to look into what happened, make sure it never happens again, and reiterate how safe air travel is in this country, because this is the first time something like this has happened since 2009. But instead of doing any of the numerous reasonable things a person would do in this situation, he fanned the flames of hate in order to deflect and blame someone else, anything to blame anyone else. And he also degraded our military personnel and potentially called Ryan O'Hara a DEI hire.
Anything that man says or does, it doesn't surprise me. Donald Trump has no soul. So we need to stop searching for his soul. The orange devil only cares about his bank account. Stop fooling ourselves.
DC airplane crash. Let's talk about it. So Texas Paul, hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. The agency that was responsible for making sure that that plane landed safely was completely decapitated, and its leadership replaced with political sycophants with no qualifications for the job. The agency that was supposed to make sure that that helicopter was where it was supposed to be was decapitated, and leadership replaced with, well, a drunk. The The agencies that were supposed to respond to the disaster itself were decapitated, one of which was removed because she was a woman, not because she was unqualified. She was incredibly qualified. She was just removed from the job because she was female. The agency that's supposed to do the investigation was decapitated and replaced with political sycophants with no qualifications for the job. The Trump regime makes America less safe every single day that it exists. Period.
He's right. The Trump regime makes America unsafe daily. The blood is on Donald Trump's hands and Elon Musk. They cause all of us by dismantling the FAA.
Joining me on the line now is Atlanta State Representative Derek Jackson. As I understand, you're a veteran, what, of 23 years?
Yes, Dr. Boynton, yeah, absolutely. I served in the United States Navy and also was stationed up in Washington, D.C., so I'm very familiar with the situation.
Part of being air traffic control, right?
That's exactly right. And, you know, out of that, those years, I served in the Navy 2 years. I was an air traffic controller for the Navy helicopters. And so we would navigate safely after going through a rigorous program of training and evaluation. And so the remarks from President Trump today were just appalling and quite frankly, incredulous around this tragic incident, and for him to politicize it was just very appalling.
Yeah, let's tell the folks a little bit. They missed it, what he said. He criticized former Presidents Obama and Biden for putting politics first. He went on to claim that DEI policies lowered the standards for air traffic controllers. He said he will restore Americans' faith in air travel. And Trump said that people need to be hired based on, quote unquote, intellect and brain power. When the President of the United States blamed such a tragic event on diversity, what's your response to that, sir?
Yeah, again, you know.
Joining me on the line now is Atlanta State Representative Derek Jackson.
People on board American Airlines flight crashes with a military helicopter. This helicopter only carries VIP officials. So what if, theoretically, someone hypnotizes this pilot, triggers the hypnosis, and then the pilot decides to fly its plane right into a landing strip, plane, they know better, okay, the best pilots in the world, flies right in front of an American Airlines airline and collides midair, killing everyone on board. Who was on that flight? Who was on that helicopter? Who did they do this to? This is not an accident, guys. This does not happen. This does not happen. It happened on purpose. The question is, why did it happen? Who was on that plane? Who was on that helicopter? 54 people on board American Airlines flight crashes.
Who was on there, Elon? Who was on there, Donnie? It means necessary. Who was on there? Who inquiring minds want to know. Who was on there? This is a little something about the FAA, the diversity breakdown. I'm going to show you this chart, what it says. Occupation percentage white, pilots 94%, mechanics and techs white 84%, engineers white 83%, air traffic white 78%. So DEI well, not much of a DEI, is it? It sure isn't.
This helicopter crash story in DC just got so weird. I am getting unconfirmed reports that people have tracked the helicopter coming from a CIA headquarters. Okay, that's one. I'm about to show you what happened on our live stream, though. They were interviewing a witness to the crash. He started talking about strange white lights in the sky. They cut the interview. Check it out now. Let me know what you think. I think some orbs may have been involved in this. This is allegedly. Here's the video. You're a legend for that. Thank you, my friend. Yo, what up, Zach?
And they noticed the planes started having regular patterns, and they all kind of dispersed from their regular landing patterns. And then we looked up in the sky. Before that, we saw these white flare. What do you think when you saw these white flares? We didn't think much of it. We thought they were like shooting stars. I don't know. I couldn't really explain it, but we didn't really think much of it until we saw the fire truck start going up.
They cut him off, bro. We got that recorded. This auto records. That's amazing. They just cut him off. Holy fuck.
Response, a mass casualty response, as it were, across the Potomac.
Did anyone just pick up on that? They just cut that interview off when he started talking about white orbs.
What is it to hide? What's been hidden from the American people? I want to know. I pay my taxes faithfully. I want to know what is not being told to us. What is the truth to everything? We deserve to know the truth. They lie to us daily. We the people need to know the truth. We're going to take it out of here with this.
This isn't your land. This isn't my land. This land was stolen through acts of violence. If you think birthright should end immediately, then we both should pack our bags and leave. This isn't your land. This isn't my land. We are descendants of murderous migrants. If you think it's not part of your history, you should take a 23andMe. This isn't your land. This isn't my land. Let's stop pretending and have some kindness for other people who aren't like you and me. Let's try some basic humanity.
Amen. Amen. Smart young lady. This land is not your land. It belongs to the people that were here before you Europeans. Don't cry. Dry your eyes. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live today. This was Life Under Trump, Part 59. What I want y'all to take away from this is everything that I showed you all is educational research, fair use, but take some bones back with you to share with your other loved ones. This should not have happened. If they would not have been trying to dismantle the FAA, disbanded, this would have never happened. America doesn't deserve this, nor those families that lost their loved ones in the crash. No one deserved this. The blood is on Elon Musk and Donald Trump's hands. The blood is on Elon Musk and Donald Trump's hands. My father always said, leave well enough alone. You had people working in the FAA, doing an excellent job, and for many years, there has not been any crashing. There hasn't been any crashes. Donald Trump, the blood is on your hands. Yes, little hand man. Elon Musk, the musty one. The blood of those victims is on your hands. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live. Goodbye.